the X-Men. War in a world of darkness. X-Men, the most unusual fighting team of all time. War in a world of darkness. Professor X has been captured. Those 5 words alone suffice to explain the feeling of nameless dread which hangs like a tapestry of fear over X-Men HQ. But for such as these, to dread is not to despair. Featuring the matchless malevolence of the macabre Mole Man and the ruthless entity known as Tyrannus. We'll find the Professor, we've got to. Unfortunately, whoever absconded with him also had time to wreck our just-repaired Cerebro. It would appear to be open season on mutant locating machines. Still, Hank, that confirms our theory that Factor 3 is composed largely of evil mutants. They wanted to make certain that we don't find them before they're ready to make their bid for world conquest. And if they succeed in somehow gaining Professor Xavier's knowledge, they might just make it. Stan Lee proudly presents a panoramic panoply of pace-setting pinnacles. A new kind of scripting supremacy by Roy Thomas. A new height in artistic accomplishment by Dan Adkins. The same old lettering by J. Feldman. Well, at least the manual labor part of our task is finished. All that remains is a few hours of complicated wiring. And for that, Iceman and the Angel can't be of any help. So, you two might as well turn in. Look, if you're trying to say that Bobby and I can't pull our weight, use your head, man. I just don't want all 5 of us bleary-eyed if Factor 3 decides to attack again. Scott's right, Warren. Now, you and Bobby have a bite to eat and get some rest before I take you over my knee telekinetically. You talked us into it, Jeannie, and how? Good, then I can get back to college. But as the others retire to the kitchen for a well-deserved snack, that battle with the Juggernaut put us all on edge. I shouldn't have barked at Angel like that. He understands, Scotty, believe me. All that matters is that we find the Professor before it's too late. As rousingly recounted last-ish. Smilin' Stan. The next moment, however, Cyclops strides from the room and... Warren, I wanted to apologize for pulling rank on you. Guess I'm tired myself. Scott's so thoughtful, zero, selfless. Maybe that's why I love him so. Forget it, pal, I was out of line. Wake me when you're done, and I'll stand watch. Some time later, as a weary Jean Grey enters her room at Metro College. Hello, Carol. Just getting in from a late date? Yes, by the way, Ted Roberts wants you to call him. He said it was terribly urgent. Oh, it's a toll call, so I'll use the payphone. And so, I know Ted suspects I'm Marvel Girl. He must have heard of our battle with the Juggernaut and be afraid that I was hurt. When he answers, what shall I say to him? Yet, even the lovely mutant is unprepared for the words she actually hears. Jean, this is Ted. I'm at my brother's research labs. Ralph's been captured. You've got to get the X-Men over here to help me rescue him. But what happened? And why do you think I can reach the X-Men? Please, Jean, I've no time to explain. Just try to get them here right away. Ted, are you there? He hung up. And he's hardly the kind to pull a stunt just to get me to reveal my secret identity. If he says his brother Ralph was captured, it must be true. But captured by whom? Thus it is that, scant seconds afterward, "Nuts! No use trying to sleep, not while the professor's in danger." Ita. The phone. But who'd be calling at this hour? Whoever it is, they'd better have a good excuse. And Marvel Girl has precisely that. For, a few minutes later, "Move, Bobby! Jean said it was urgent." "Oh, well, I was tired of counting sheep anyway." But what about Scotty and Hank? "We won't disturb them unless we have to." Cerebro's got to be fixed. Whew, we realize our story is jumping around frantically, faithful one, but bear with us. Any page now, we'll settle down to a dead heat. Before long, in a secluded area near Metro College. "Hop aboard, Jeannie. We got here as fast as we could." It's a good thing our plane is equipped with an auto-gyro hovering device since our copter got smashed. Still, it better get on as fast as possible. We don't want any late-night strollers to find out that Marvel Girl is one of the campus co-eds. Soon, the small jet plane is streaking above the waters of Long Island Sound, not to mention the grounds of the fast-growing Roberts Research Inc. You know, boys, it just occurred to me, Ralph was on TV the other day talking about a new government project. Could Factor 3 have decided to capture him too? I don't know, Jean. I just want to get to the bottom of this so we can concentrate on finding the professor. It seems like just yesterday that Ralph Roberts had amnesia and attacked us as the Cobalt Man. And now his brother says he's in some kind of danger. I wonder what it could be. Actually, it was several weeks ago in X-Men number 31, Stickler Stan. Then, a few minutes later, "The X-Men, thank heaven you've come. But there are only 3 of you. The others will be here if we need them, Ted." Now? What? "You've got to help me. Ralph, he's gone, taken as a prisoner to the center of the earth." Huh? Slow down a bit, fella. Yeah, maybe you'd better start the story from scratch. All right, but we don't have much time. If Ralph doesn't do what he's told by Tyrannus, he'll be killed before we can rescue him. Tyrannus? We've heard rumors of a guy by that name, the ruler of a world beneath the earth. But we thought they were legends. And I'm telling you they're true. Tyrannus exists. We agreed it wouldn't speak much to protect my identity. Yet Ted's so unnerved he hardly notices me. Let me tell you what happened. Then maybe you'll believe me. As you know, Ralph's experiments deal mainly with cobalt and his attempts to create ever stronger alloys of it. Well, just last week, he made a scientific breakthrough. Because he knew I was interested, he called me at Metro this afternoon, and a few hours later, I arrived here. Look, little brother, even that powerful laser beam has no effect on my super cobalt alloy. It's many times stronger than steel, and its melting point is twice that of normal cobalt. Then what you said on TV is true. With a ship built of that stuff, you could travel to the Earth's core. What I didn't know, what I couldn't suspect, was that, at that very moment, the incredible had happened. The Earth's core was coming to us. Hurry, you mindless dolts! In that building is the one we have come so far to capture. We hear and obey, Excellency. Even as Ralph and I talked, the silent figures drew ever closer. Then, suddenly, we heard the sound of gunfire nearby. It's only a matter of time until... What's that? Shooting just outside the lab. Some enemy agents must be after your alloy. They're battling your guards. We've got to escape with the sample. Yes, if only the door will hold for a few seconds. But before Ralph could finish, the guards are finished, and there is the one we seek. Take him alive, he shall become my slave. Desperately, I rushed forward, but... Fool, you are of no value to me. 'Tis the other who shall conquer a world for tyrannous. No, you can't I went down for the count to the sounds of struggle in a sea of voices. We have him, Excellency. Can't escape. Their grips are like iron. Of course. Do we not dwell beneath the earth itself? Now, come Tyrannus has use for your precious new discovery. For, with it I shall defeat my arch foe, the accursed Mole Man. Got to stay awake, help, Ralph. But my head hurts so bad, passing out. That's all I remember. The guards revived first and woke me. Zero are fouled up again. Glass-jaw Roberts out like a light from one punch. Don't blame yourself, Ted. Only someone who was more than human could survive at the Earth's core. You didn't have a chance. We mutants just might, though, if only we had a way of getting there. That's just it. You do. What? Lead us to it, pal. Then, as the grim foursome head for a highly restricted section of the new building. What I don't get, Ted, is why you called the X-Men. After all, the government has a stake in this. Why not the army? I'm afraid Tyrannus might kill Ralph if a large force went after him. But a handful of us might take him by surprise. Ted still hardly looks at me. Could I be wrong in thinking that he suspects? And yet... However, seconds later, all such thoughts are forgotten. As in, holy Hannah, if that's what I think it is. It's an atomic-powered earth borer fitted with plates of Ralph's new super cobalt. He said he hadn't tested it yet, but we must try it. We must. Still, how will we find Tyrannus and Ralph? She's got a good point there, Ted. I hope you've got an equally good answer. The borer's equipped with gizmos designed to locate power sources. And maybe they'll find Tyrannus the same way. Moments afterward, not far from the lab. Look, I got a Geiger counter while I waited for you, and it led me straight to this 50-foot pit. Tyrannus must have gone down at this point and filled most of the tunnel in after him. But with the earth borer, maybe we could open it up again. One thing's for sure, we've got to try. For much, much more than even Ralph's life is at stake. If his captor learned the secret of that super-hard alloy, he may be encouraged to invade the surface world. I just checked out the ship, Angel. It looks pretty simple to operate. But it's only got room for a crew of 3. That works out just fine, 'cause Ted's got to stay here and act as our contact man. Me stay here? Nothing doing. It's the only way, Ted. You might not even survive down there. A corpse won't do your brother any good. Okay, I'll play it your way, but I don't have to like it. Then, in the next few fateful minutes, Warren Worthington's automobile know-how serves him in good stead. This Go Buggy isn't exactly my Mustang, but I think I'll get the hang of it fast enough. I'll keep you advised on depth reading, Scott. Good girl. How's the Geiger scope working, Iceman? Like a charm, Driver Man. Just one little question, if you don't mind. When we find Tyrannus and his playmates, then what? Do unto others as they would do unto you, only do it first. All right, people, it's moment of truth time. When I press this button, we move out. 321. 0. At the young mutant's touch, the strange vehicle lumbers forward out of the lab and towards the yawning chasm. Scotty, the borer's going over the edge too fast. I'm counting on its suction-tipped treads to hold us, Bobby. If they don't, but we are destined never to hear the angel's dire forebodings for the next microsecond. You did it! Worry! Those nutty treads they're holding. For long, anxious minutes, the unique craft moves. That isn't all, Bobby. Take a peek at the job our frontal laser's doing. It's blasting through the dirt and rocks ahead like they were cobwebs. Downward, ever downward, at a steady, deliberate rate. Then, suddenly, uh-oh, look alive, crew. According to the scope, Tyrannus's ship must have leveled off here. Yet, we're only 20 miles down. And wait, look ahead. We've burst into a large cavern. Stop admiring the view and do something. We're heading smack dab towards the biggest stalagmite I ever saw. Holy Hannah, even the laser won't take out all of that baby fast enough. Brace yourselves. X-Men, we're gonna hit. And hit they do. Yet, scant moments later, 3 unharmed figures scramble from the only slightly damaged earth borer. This cavern is huge, seemingly endless. It must extend for miles, unsuspected by the earth above. A land of perpetual twilight, yet bathed in an eerie emerald glow. It's like another world. Yeah, one straight out of a Jules Verne yarn. Now I know how Alice felt when she fell down that rabbit hole. What is this place, anyway? You are on the outer edge of the mantle, fools, a layer composed of magnesium and silicates. I hope its decor pleases you, for you shall never leave here alive. What? Who's that? Where? Over there on that boulder. It must be Tyrannus. What? You dare call me by that accursed name? For that you shall perish slowly after you cry out for mercy. That ray, it hit a large rock in front of me and disintegrated it. What's more, if we don't split, might just do the same to us. Yet if he isn't Tyrannus, then who is he? One far mightier than he, whom he will soon call master. I am the Mole Man. And it pleases me that my voice shall be the last thing you hear. Aha! He missed! Thanks for the lift, gal. My pleasure, Iceman. Just one chance, if I can take flight 0 in on him from the side. And it worked! I got him before he could fire that pop gun again. You dare to lay your hands on him, who shall soon be ruler of the earth? Mister, you sure do a lot of daring. I almost feel I ought to say, Mother, may I? But then, as the violently straining Mole Man breaks away from Angel's grip, Come, my subjects, protect your beloved ruler from these intruders. Hurry, you witless non-entities, or your punishment shall be beyond description. Uh-oh, what's he calling in now? The second string? Well, what do you know? I was right. But what a second string those four characters look like the night shift from the ugly factory. And they're sure not here to give us the keys to the city. Kill the invaders as the master commands. As long as you're hostile anyway, I might as well attack. The best defense and all that. Kill him! We are 4 against 1. Yet, it immediately becomes apparent that the baneful Bems have somewhat misfigured the odds. First, they rushed all of us. Then, when he moved, only Warren. These creatures seem almost mindless, which may enable us to beat them. Bug-eyed monsters for you uninitiated ones out there. Stan, the science fiction fan. Not only that, gal, they're about as short on brawn as they are on brain. But they keep comin'. Nothing seems to scare 'em or make 'em retreat. Still, son, that ice pack of yours ought to take care of that one. Angel, Iceman, the Mole Man's escaping. Mr. 3D Goggles decided he'd skip out when things didn't go his way, huh? Come on, I'm betting we can catch him and find out what connection he has with Tyrannus. Careful, both of you. Remember we're on his home ground. Ha! It doesn't matter how careful those surface fools are. If they follow me, they will have defeated themselves, just as I planned. Moments later, as the pursuing teenagers round a bend in the twilight gloom, the Mole Man's gone vanished. He probably knows this place like the back of his hand. He could be anywhere. Yet he acted like he wanted us to follow him. And this underground stream, he led us to what's that mist rising from it? It makes me feel strange. Suddenly, can't seem to remember why we came here or even where we are. In fact, who am I, and who are you too? I don't know either. It's as if I just came into existence. In a sense you did, female, when you breathed the magic mists of the river Lethe. But now, while you digest the significance of that fateful remark from stage right, what about Ralph Roberts, the man whom the ill-starred trio set out to rescue? Funny you should ask, frantic one. Work faster, slave. Soon, my long-standing rivalry with the accursed Mole Man shall be at an end. Recently, he developed a giant robot of solid diamond, so I must have one coated with your new, even stronger super cobalt alloy. And if I don't cooperate with you, I'll be destroyed. Then I have no choice, but I warn you, my new alloy has not yet been tested over long periods. Silence, fool, and activate my robot. Ah, it moves! My indestructible creation lives! Yes, and may the Lord have mercy on us all. Tyrannus left me no choice but to obey him or die. His robot was already completed, needing only a coating of my super-hard cobalt as armor. But he doesn't know one thing. Just then, the commanding voice of Tyrannus rings out. Let the robot halt. I shall use him later when the invention of my foe attacks. Now that I've done your dirty work, let me go. Nay, later I shall invade your world, and you can equip an army of invincible warriors for me. Never! I'll die first. That, too, can be arranged, impetuous one. The next second, before an angry Ralph Roberts can leap forward. Nas Zero, you would dare lift your hand against the presence imperial? For that, you shall know the dank darkness of the royal dungeon until you swear allegiance to me. Take him away! Don't hold your breath while you're waiting, pal. Come, prisoner, while you yet can. Got to play along, hope for a chance to act. While, not far above, it's fortunate that Warren jotted down his destination, eh, Scotty? Yes, Hank, memo pads are handy in more ways than one. Whoops! Steady with that rope, big fella. It's still a long way down. Soon, as the two intrepid X-Men complete their perilous descent. Great going, Mr. McCoy. You spotted the Earth Borer's tracks like a hawk. Elementary, my dear Cyclops, since Ted had thoroughly described them to me. I wonder where our comrades at arms were heading. Your guess is as good as mine, Hank. But from what Ted told us about that character called Tyrannus, they might just need a hand. And the bountifully endowed beast is prepared to lend them one economy-sized. Keep your eyes open. We've got to be ready for anything. That Mr. Summers is indeed the most superfluous of suggestions. Meanwhile, let's look in on the not-too-distant castle of the macabre Mole Man, where, it would appear, a trio of mixed-up mutants have become willing guests of a sort. Behold, my minions, the Mole Man's newest creation, a 30-foot diamond android. No known metal can harm it, while its sword smashes my foe's strongest defenses with ease. It's immense, terrifying. We're fortunate to be your loyal servants, Master. Ha! The river Lethe, which causes men to forget their very identities, has ever been deemed a myth by the surface multitudes. How ironic that now, through its mysterious mists, I have gained control of 3 X-Men while using an oxygen mask to avoid falling under its spell myself. Heed my words, slaves. For many days my diamond creature has wreaked havoc upon my enemy's forces. Within the hour, it shall make its final, conclusive attack with the 3 of you by its side upon the stronghold of Tyrannus. Tyrannus? How familiar that name seems to me. If only we could remember. It seems somehow connected to a mission, but what business have slaves with a mission? Their minds are too strong. I must act quickly to preserve my precarious hold on them. You need only know that you are my bondsman, and that Tyrannus is your foe, because he is mine. Now, watch and witness the invincible power at my fingertips. The next second, the awesome mechanical giant seems to live, to feel, to hate. Observe. My thoughts have become his thoughts, my brain his brain. What power on earth could stand up to that? Then, at the merest touch of a button, the gleaming engine of destruction becomes once more a motionless statue. Now that you know the full extent of my might, it is time for you to strike for the greater glory of the Mole Man. My every command shall be instantly relayed to you through the android, and you shall unhesitatingly obey it. We exist only to serve you, Master. Your foes are our foes. We fight for the Mole Man. Good. They remain fully my super-powered pawns. Yet, I wonder where the other X-Men are. As a matter of fact, we'd kinda like to know that ourselves. And so, with a mystic wave of the mighty Marvel magic wand, our colleagues apparently went no further in the Earth borer than they could skid. Strange, because the ship seems hardly damaged. Let's climb inside and see what we can find out. Scant moments later. I was right. The controls respond perfectly. Then we'll continue our search in this armored baby. The barefoot beast's tender tootsies. Thank you, Scotty boy. But scarcely are the purposeful pair underway when they come upon an eerie subterranean spectacle, but one whose significance they cannot be expected to grasp. The legendary, all but forgotten river called Lethe. That underground stream looks unusual, Psych. What say we examine it further? Later, Hank, the several sets of tracks we saw led past it, and that's just where we're going. Hang on to your water wings, son. Here's where we find out if this thing floats. Thus, inside the sealed earth borer, the two lucky mutants avoid the sinister fate which has befallen their fellow X-Men. While at a site not far away, another figure approaches a second small body of water, the formidable figure of Tyrannus. Before I send my Cobalt warrior into combat, I must first sip the waters of this fabled pool. In our last encounter, the Mole Man captured these grounds and thereby almost defeated me. 4. I cannot live without drinking daily from the fountain of youth. As clamorously chronicled in Astonish number 80. Or did we say that already? Insecure Stan. Ere long, I shall drink this precious liquid on the surface from which I was banished centuries ago. Today, the Mole Man, tomorrow, the world. Yet, no sooner has Tyrannus returned to his own throne room when... Excellency, the diamond creature again attacks our citadel, this time more fiercely than ever. But this time, Tyrannus is prepared for its onslaught. Summon the captive surface dweller to me. Hurry, fool, we dare not delay. And it would appear that Tyrannus knows whereof he speaks. For at this very moment, in the moat which surrounds the darkness-enshrouded palace, a flashing blade of solid diamond slices through a doomed watchtower. Then, a few heartbeats later, so that's why you needed my super cobalt. What else could stand a chance against a robot of diamond? True, Roberts, we were sorely besieged. But now, see the glittering android turns and... turn. It does as its electronically activated eyes behold a gigantic, fearsome apparition thundering its way. The infernal Tyrannus has devised some mechanized warrior of his own. Yet, diamond is the hardest of substances. How can my foe hope to win? Still, I shall order my 3 mutant slaves to stay back in case the impossible happens. But the next moment, as 2 mammoth forms clash for the first time, it speedily becomes clear that the impossible is happening. Back, ever. Back the stricken diamond android is driven by the Cobalt warrior as the cataphonic sounds of combat echo through the twilight caverns. Harder, you brainless brute, harder! Tyrannus must have vengeance for the indignities suffered at the hands of the Mole Man's mute monster. But as the diamond robot falls, the insentient victim of a stronger, man-made alloy, an unexpected force enters the fray. We must destroy the warrior android for the Mole Man. And yet, the strange telekinetic powers I possess cannot topple it. What we can't do by sheer strength, we must accomplish by other means. Try to hold the monster back while I pursue my plan. Though the high-flying angel does not remember his true identity, he still retains his previous knowledge, and so our foe seems to see electronically with some sort of built-in radar. If so, then maybe this handful of mud and rocks will do what the diamond creature could not. Then, as the winged mutant flies dangerously close to his prey, "You two stay back. The android is mine." Must attack with split-second timing. In other words, now! I did it! I got so close that its blade can't reach me. But he'll shake me off in a moment. Must hope this metal-laden mud does the trick. Instants later, as the angel has soared to a place of safety, the robot was blinded, as I hoped, by the magnesium and silicates in the mud. It fell into that lava-heated pit. But what made it explode? While, from a vantage point above, Tyrannus wonders the same thing. How could mere heat destroy my android when Diamond could not, unless... He realizes that I sabotaged it by mixing substances with low heat resistance into its cobalt armor. If I don't act fast, I'm a dead man. Okay, world beater, let's see how good you are without a 10-ton robot to back you up. I'm a bit past my college boxing prime, but I'm betting I can still take you. Hurry, you witless fools! And before Ralph can make his escape, we have him, Excellency. Maybe so, but you don't have my super cobalt formula. And you never will. Perhaps, but you shall not live to boast of your actions. Meanwhile, almost directly below, that ray blast, it must have come from Tyrannus himself. He's in that tower with only a handful of troops. We must capture him, as we were commanded. Thus, still under the influence of the mists of Lethe, the trio attack. Who are you, and why do you fight for the Mole Man? We are his loyal servants. He is our master. The angel! Thank heaven! Yet why does he say he's the slave of Tyrannus' foe? My levitational power brought us here. Now to stop Tyrannus. While you do, I'll immobilize these lovelies. Can't move! The girl is holding me somehow. Meanwhile, having reached the nearby stronghold of the Mole Man, Cyclops and the Beast are pursuing plans of their own. The other X-Men's tracks led here, and nothing's keeping us out. But gently, lad, gently. Remember, violence is the last refuge of the incompetent. Moments later, inside. What happened to your policy of non-aggression, Mr. McCoy? You forget my alternate adage, Mr. Summers. A foolish consistency is the hobgoblin of little minds. Whatever these goons are protecting must be behind that door. Optic blasts, do your duty. And indeed, the mutant's deputy leader was never righter. What? Who's that? Have my X-Men slaves returned? No, wait! It's 2 more of them! Keep back. What for? And let you reach that gun to mow us down? You know a lot about Jean and the others, so you're coming with us. Then, with a slightly dazed mole man in tow as hostage, the intrepid pair are off once more on their desperate mission. I tell you, your fellow X-Men are my allies in my battle against the evil Tyrannus. You must believe me. I mean the outer world no harm. Sorry, Moley, but we've seen the Fantastic Four's file on you, so it's no dice. Now, direct us to Tyrannus, or else. Our swinging scene, soon as we switch for almost the last time. From the looks of things, there's been a real battle royal going on here. Aye, Angel, what are you? You've dared lay hands on the Master. For that, you must die. I forgot. The Mole Man said the others are under the spell of the River Lethe. Look out, Scotty. He's travelling with enough velocity to demolish you. Don't want to hurt Warren. Must stop him without using my optic blasts. Maybe this will slow you down long enough for me to try out this spray gun of Moley's. Got him, but if he didn't have amnesia, he'd have managed to sidestep me. Oh, my head. Now to see if the Mole Man told the truth about that Mists of Lethe business. If he did, this antidote ray he concocted for us should... Where am I? Got to get up, find the professor. It worked. He's coming around. Later, when Jean and Bobby have been similarly treated. I admit defeat, surface humans. Release me, and you may depart unharmed. This is hardly your day for dictating peace terms, friend. Then do your worst, fools. A monarch does not fear to die. We're not as merciless as you, Tyrannus. But we do have an idea about what to do with you and the Mole Man. Let's just call it a little something to forget us by. Personally, I'd just as soon forget them. No, not that. You would not dare. Shortly thereafter, as the Earth-borer heads speedily surfaceward. Maybe this isn't the thing to say right now. But it's been 2 days since we had any shut-eye crew. 43 hours, 27 minutes to be precise, lad. We still must deal with the fact that Ralph's brother seems to know our alter egos. Yet, that can wait till after our showdown with Factor 3. Thank heaven those 2 warlords didn't learn the secret of my invincible alloy. I only hope your solution ends their threat permanently, while in the eternal twilight far below. If only I knew my name, or how I came to this forsaken place. Somehow, somewhere, I recall an antidote to this plague of a blackened memory. But I cannot remember. Perhaps it was only a dream. Would you believe? Spider-Man, an agent of Factor 3? The X-Men do next-ish. Nuff said. Next issue. Tales to Astonish. Number 92.